Hi, I'm Tim Roble, and welcome to another episode of Adventure Athlete. Today's physical build day 33, and I'm a lot more energized today than I was yesterday. Yesterday, I was just so ragged out of thinking about doing the same old thing again. So I changed things up a little bit and did some things that I kind of wanted to do, and that got me kind of excited and allowed me to move through finishing all the tube work and everything that needed to be done. So we're all tubed out. I still have to blend and cut and fill some areas, but other than that, we have the full shape. Panels are ready to go on the roof. One thing that I would do different is this transition here is about 2 inches short of 8 foot, or 2 inches longer than 8 foot. So I'm going to have to do that in 2 different panels. And the same thing with the side here, 2 different panels. So that's going to kind of suck and kind of a waste of resources. So as a designer or engineer, if I had to do that again, I would shorten that up so that would be one piece. So that's something that I would do different. I love the shape. It actually provides a cool, swoopy shape, exactly what I was looking for. And I feel like I integrated a lot of stuff into this rig. Remember, right here we're going to do a barbecue coming out on slides. I'll have that open up this way, so I'm actually cooking here, and it does not get in the way of the fold down table. So table still got a little bit of work to do on it. You can see that I need to match this transition line right here, and then that'll be sheeted, and this will have another little deal coming through this area here that needs to be sheeted because this folds down. And it has internal stops on it. I don't know if the stops are going to be enough, like if you put your weight on it all the time. Once I get everything welded out, I'll take a look at it. I may have to do a little cable or something, might want to even do a cable from the center, tying it in. We'll see where that ends up. But I used a poly acrylic resin, a hardener and a base for this. I took a United States map and basically coffee stained it and cut up the edges and burned the edges, which you cannot see at all on this, and glued it down. And then I took the pigment and I laid it out without mixing it in the poly, and I think it turned out really, really well. All of this pigment through here to kind of look like a coastline is glow in the dark, so I thought that was super cool. I'm kind of a gadget guy and that kind of stuff. And then some of the mountains would back here kind of look cool. Did it turn out perfect? No, but you always learn by what you did. But that'll fold up nice, and I think I'll have that inside. It'll pip pin through here and through there. I think that's going to be the simplest, easiest way to do that and still have it be very useful and work. So inside, yesterday the big transition point was putting these cabinets back in, and it's a good thing I did because I had added some tubing in an area that needed to be cut back out. So kind of going back and forth, trial, mock-up, and fitting stuff is very important. But I got those in, and that was just kind of the energizing little deal. Why I'm thinking about that, let's talk about this cabinet area. And I had talked about previously that I was going to take the bottom out and make this so there's more storage inside from inside. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this out and make this outside storage. So you can do your salt, pepper, spices, maybe extra propane bottle, candle, whatever you can think of that you need to put in there, rags, towel, something like that. Actually is a lot of storage, and that'll be accessible from the outside. So fold that back up. Going inside, I got all of this framed out for what the countertop is going to be. I told you guys all I was leaning towards butcher block, but butcher block for economical reasons, it's not going to work. Most of the butcher block is in 24 foot width or 24 inch widths, and that's not going to work because from right here, right there is 28 inches, so that's not going to work. So what I'll do is probably use maybe some type of birch plywood And I'm actually leaning towards even framing this out and then inlaying it, and maybe paint this with a hammered copper look. We'll see. Everything evolves as you go down a path. Right now I'm using it as a little tool cart. Sink is in its place where it's going to go. I did find a neat place to store the 12 gallons of water. So those fit in there. They're super, they're not super tight, but I'll set that up with something that keeps us in place, and I'll put the pump and everything ready to change out everything real super nice and easy. On this end over here, I am going to frame this in. Probably going to build a little garbage can to hold, you know, like the 15-gallon, 13-gallon bags. And then up top in the counter, right here will be a bamboo cutting top. And then I'll have a 3-inch hole right here that, so you know you're cutting an onion or something, you can scrape all the scraps just directly into the trash. And that'll be the trash access unless you need to throw something really big away. But we don't generate a whole lot of trash anyway, so enough for 5 days would be great. I got the ARB tabbed out, and it's actually screwed in place. It's not down for, you know, the whole part of the build that's going to be coming back out, but I wanted to make sure that that part was done. Up top, I cut the header out here that was originally there. I wanted to get these transitions in first before that got removed. Up top, 4 foot long by 42-inch wide by 4 foot deep. I'm gonna have a slide out drawer that'll come out into this area, and you can see everything clears, which is wonderful. That'll be storage for clothes and whatnot, jackets, whatever you know we want to put in there. From this area right here to right over there is 6'7", so that means that my big 6'3" body can fit sideways in here, because the plan is we are going to put in a 32-inch DC flat screen TV here, and that all fits real well dimension wise, with the top being able to flip up, clears the TV. And over here we're doing the futon, which will also be a fold up unit. The original unit that I bought is probably not going to be used, or pieces of it will be used, but I'm going to have to do something a little bit different than normal. In between the shock mounts, we have 23.5 inches to roll a motorcycle down the center. Like I've talked about before, this is a lot of stuff packaging wise in a very small area, and I was able to pull it all off, and I'm really pleased with myself on that. I had the confidence from myself in the beginning just to go full bore and do it, and now it's starting to pay off. Yesterday I was so ragged out and just did not feel like doing anything, and with just putting something simple in like cabinets and working on countertop and putting a sink, visually that changed things for me, and now I'm like, okay, I can see this little glow at the end of the tunnel, and now I'm full steam ahead. Unfortunately, I still have client stuff that I work on, and I'll be splitting the days up. But yesterday was a full 11-hour day that I was able to really get in here and knock some stuff out. If you like this type of thing, as we go through like doing the solar, that's coming up in probably the next 5 to 7 episodes. I'll be putting the panels up on the roof. I will be framing this up for our Max Air fans, and getting that all set up. I think I'm doing one right probably in about this area. So one right above where you're sleeping, so it'll suck or pull air across your body as you're sleeping, because heat's going to be one of the things to deal with. Another thing I'm doing is this lower section will be carpeted for the memory foam mattress to sit on, and I will have one wall carpeted. I learned when I did the box fan that carpeting helps dissipate the moisture from your breath, and that's a really good thing. Some of the cold things, like internal storage. I don't go where it's super cold, but Johnson Valley, January, February, sometimes can be 22 degrees in the early morning, and that's enough to freeze up your coffee and not be able to do your coffee in the morning. So that's when I learned to pour my coffee water first. But with this unit, all of the tanks and everything are going to be inside. Up top here will be that Lifesaver 5-gallon water purifier. And over here, I got a cool vanity. I will be taking the back out of that and framing it in so it follows the triangulated lines of the unit, and it'll increase storage in that. We use that more for like a medicine cabinet, of course, your toothbrush and first aid station, so you know where to go, and then a mirror. That's going to be it for today's episode. I think I covered a lot, maybe even too much, but I thank you guys for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Man, sometimes just your little comments that come down and say something positive to get me going really helps out. So thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate you. I'm Tim Roble, and I'll catch you here next time.